We showed up after we'd had Amplipharma for a couple of years in Sweden and actually been through an incubator there and program and everything. So when we showed up here, we figured, okay, this is something we know, but hey, the network, that's only network itself is already worth doing this for, right? And then we were confronted with all these lectures that were basically based not in theory, but in we've lived this. And that was a very big difference from programs that we'd seen before, where people kind of like theorized about how things would work if you set up a company around an idea and what you needed to go through, to actually meeting people who'd actually walked that walk. And that was a very pleasant surprise.
What was different from all the other kinds of programs that I've done is the behavioral component. So all of a sudden I had to fill out a personal profile, and I got an interaction with you on a Zoom call, which lasted, I think, 45 minutes. So, I mean, that's a serious time commitment from you on my results and, you know, who I am and what are my strong points and my weak points. This was already very different from any of the other business programs that we've done. What was very special, of course, is that you were willing to stay involved, and so we kept on interacting after that, and that has changed my business plan and my way and my approach to the future for this program.
The heparin market is expected to be worth about $13 billion by 2032, and already more than 50% of the heparin market lies within the US. So we felt, okay, it's probably quite important for us to understand what the dynamics are there, how specifically we should consider preparing to speak with investors and maybe look to in the future expanding to the US.
The external perspectives. So yeah, we got to talk with many people also coming from corporate environments, industry environments, and that gave us as well the CMC perspective. So CMC, chemistry, manufacturing control, for entering our process into the regulatory pathway, to prepare us for GMP production, to get into the clinic. So that was, very useful.
First, I wasn't expecting to have so many people from different backgrounds and at different stage, also of their startup. And that was very nice to have. Another thing is the scope. We touched upon many different sections of the entrepreneurship. So like you mentioned the IP and the patents, of course, but we also talked about investing, what type of investors, where to get the money, the different types of fundings. One of the things that I wasn't expecting too much is the difference between the American perspective and the European perspective. That was so valuable to be able to see it like that.
Directly after the program, we started rethinking of the model, tweaked it, and validated more and more. And we made sure that we were walking in the right direction. To be specific, I think so we first focused on pediatric medication. Any pharmacist said, "Oh, this is great for pediatric patients, right? So small, we don't have a solution for that." But then it turned out that these pediatric pharmacies, the pharmacies who provide for pediatric patients, they are in hospitals, and we have long lead cycles in hospitals. They're big institutions, and hospitals, they have high quality standards, and they would like to see as many publications about the device as possible. So they're still right, it's still an interesting market for us, but it's not the entry market. That's what we found out after the program, and then we pivoted, so we left it for a bit and we pivoted to the more smaller sized local compounding pharmacy.